Welcome, everyone. We are live. Today, it's Tuesday. Already, right? It is Tuesday already. And I was supposed to do some recording last night, but I chose not to because I was tired. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to rest. And so I did. And I'm glad I did. You see, sometimes we push ourselves so hard. Like we really do. But in actuality, daddy is always right, most of the time. See, when you rush the brush, you waste the paint. All this rushing around, trying to get it done. I just said, you know what? I'm going to rest. And then I told myself, after you've rested, you'll get much more accomplished. Really, think about this for a minute. We don't give ourselves enough time to enjoy things. But we just rush and rush and then we complain. And where is that coming from? It's coming from a sense of, well, fear of not being able to sustain oneself, worry that you won't sustain yourself, right? But predominantly fear. Oh no, what if? Mm. You see, what is real and natural for us, we always ask, what if? Do you not notice that? We always ask that question, what if? Why do we ask that? Because we rouse the imagination naturally. That's what we do. We rouse the imagination naturally by simply asking, what if? What would it be like if we do this? We do it on a daily basis. And so, because we do it on a daily basis, you can rest assured that that is part of your nature. Oh, it is part of the nature to rouse one's own imagination? But of course, if you don't rouse the imagination, you don't rouse the man. The man as in the human. We move when we are stirred or roused to do so. Naturally. So when we ask, man, what if? Perhaps if we entertained the other side of that. Because as humanity, pardon my yawn, because as humanity, we tend to ask the question from the other side of the pendulum. Man, what if this totally ruins everything? Blah, blah, blah. You know how we are. But what if we started to practice asking, what would happen if I succeeded? What would happen if the doctors were amazed by the outcome? What would happen if I were in a most beautiful relationship? What would I be doing? And as you begin to rouse the imaginative faculties, you get a feeling. You just do. Because it is cause and effect, right? And we start to do that. And you see, it takes practice. Deliberate behavior takes practice. Mind you, so does unwitting behavior, but nonetheless, we practice. So why not practice when you ask yourself certain questions? Why not ask yourself, what, what, what would it be like if? Because something begins to happen to you. You see, habits are, I tell you, habits are beautiful, you know. To watch a habit take root, it's intriguing because it's nothing special, really. You just do something the same way every time, and then you have to keep doing that thing the same way every time. Ooh, fascinating. But it is, if you are deliberate to observe. So if you practice, man, what would it be like if? And you went towards the beautiful, the fascinating, the joy. If you went towards that side, you would develop a habit of seeing the best in the world. Oh, yes, you would. And as within, so without, right? The exact same thing happens when we see oh man, there's nothing good in the world. People are so evil. You practice that. You practice seeing that. What do you think your outcome is? Oh, fancy that, eh? This is what is so intriguing. If we would become aroused by the very fact that we could generate a mood just by simply asking ourselves a question. Think about that. You and I can generate a mood. What mood do you want to generate? People ask the question all the time. Well, how do I change my thoughts? You don't change your thoughts. You change the mood, and the thoughts change to match the mood. Just choose what type of mood you want to be in. Yes, that's what it is. Why? Because thoughts are their effects. If you know what type of thought you're having, you'll see the cause, you'll see the mood that's underlying, right? And the thing with us is, we as people, we do not see the correlation between our moods and our experiences. We think we live in a random place or doing random things. It may appear to be random at first glance, but don't get it twisted. There is no randomness. The principle of rhythm tells us there is nothing random. Not a thing. Even though it may appear to look that way. We either experience things deliberately or we experience them unwittingly, whereby it looks as if it were random. But there isn't randomness. So to practice, you know, when you say, man, I got to get in the habit of, isn't that funny? You got to get into the habit of? What does that tell you? It tells you in order for you to do something, you have to make it a habit. Oh my. In order to do something, you have to make that thing a habit. Or else you're just going to do it once, twice maybe. But we are creatures of habit. That is a very popular adage, a very popular saying. We are creatures of habit. But to comprehend it, to understand it, oh wow, that's a rhythm right there. That's a pattern. I read a post where somebody said, well, I can't see my patterns. And then they persisted to list all of the things that they've experienced that clearly show patterns. Because we look, but we don't see. Mm? This is what is, I called it the real thing because when we look around, we see what is reflected back at us from inside of ourselves. It's just what we do. As within, so without. And we look and we see these things. And we say, but that's not possible. Why is it happening to me? You see, everything is possible. So this is why when you practice something, before you commit to the practice, there's a very important question. It's a very important analyzation that has to take place. If you look at the desired outcome, just look at the outcome in general, which is, man, how do I want to behave? What do I do? I want to act like this all the time? If you say, yes, I can live with that, then you start practicing that behavior. And it will become your habit because you do it the same way every time over and over again. Because now that is what you will serve. Oh, yes. Because that thing that you form a habit for, you've taught it a particular pathway in your brain. That every time you do this, this is the effect. So you have ingrained that neurological pathway so that any time you get into that particular mood, then you must behave in the fashion that you have conditioned yourself to behave in. And sometimes it feels like you don't even have free will. You just gotta do it. Because after you have chosen, free will is gone. You just act according to what you've chosen. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. So once you have made a choice and you have committed to that choice now becomes the cause. And you will have to act it out. You will serve it. So when you want to do something in your life, you ask yourself, can I commit to that? And if you say, well, nope, you will shuffle and you will shuffle until you find something that you can commit to. Oh, indeed. And you, us humans, we are something spectacular, aren't we? We are running around in these streets talking about we can't do things. We can't change. So we're running around talking about, I've got too many years of this, too many years of that. I can't just stop. Oh, no one is asking you to just stop. You're being asked to recognize what you are doing. And if you like it, do you like your chaperone? Originally, I was going to say, do you like your jailer? But not everything is imprisonment, you know? Not every habit imprisons. So which habit do you want to serve? Which habit are you presently serving at the moment? This is it right here. What are you serving? Do you notice what you're serving? You just gotta look. And I will tell it to you every day until you see it for yourself. Like when I was stuck at work, I was in Excel. No, I wasn't in Excel. I was on the hard drive. And I needed to transfer some files. And I was like, "Ugh, what the heck?" I could see it in my mind's eye, what I wanted to do. And I was like, well, show me how to do it. Because I can see it, but I can't see it. What do I do? Like, where do I shuffle? And I sat there and I could feel myself getting frustrated. And I said, Angela, frustration will blind you and you won't be able to see it. So stop. I said, oh, easier said than done, heifer. That's what I said to myself. And I sat there and I wanted to ask. And I said, no, you've been shown this before. You've done it before. Find it. You've done it before. Find it in your mind's eye, what you've done. And sure enough, I saw what I needed to do. Like I literally saw it in my mind's eye, what to click, where to drag, and I was like, nice. And I did it. And this is why I mean, sometimes we rush and we rush, and all that rushing around, sometimes what happens is you feed your inadequacy. Because you already feel a particular way. Oh man, why can't I get it? And when you rush and you still don't see it and you still can't get it, that feeling of, see, told you you were an imposter. Everybody's going to see right through you. You see where that comes from? Rushing and not giving yourself enough time to examine the process. That's what happens. And then you start feeling, I knew I wasn't good enough. Me. When all it needed was for you to take more time. You see, this is what it is. I'm telling you because I'm there. I learned this new job and I'm still learning it. I am. And sometimes I feel like a pest because I'm always saying, oh my God, Jamie, what do I do? I'm always saying that. And I know sometimes she gets frustrated, but then she remembers, oh, I have been doing this for 10 years, so it's the back of my hand. You have only been doing it for like 2 months. So you're going to have way more questions. And the fact that you don't have way more questions is really surprising to me. You're a quick learner. And she always says that. She goes, you're doing great. So you see, when we take our time to really look at the situation that we're in, that's why I tell you the principles. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, and the peekaboo chicken? You just want to see what I'm doing. You nosy. You're so sweet, though. Hmm? Yeah, good boy. Mm. See, we just take our time. If you practice taking your time, you'll begin to see things and you'll begin to recognize your behaviors. And then the courage isn't missing. It is just suppressed by the rushing. Really and truly, it is just suppressed by the rushing. It's just like when you're baking sourdough bread. Some days I feel like it's my nemesis. But really, it isn't. I just rush and I'm like, oh. But if you take your time, I had to renew my faith in myself. I said, I know I can bake. What's wrong with me? So my son said, Ma, can we have some beignets? I said, yeah. Let me tell you something, Linda. Those beignets were popping. Oh, my word. Yes, they were. And I said to myself, you see, I know I can bake. So what's the problem with sourdough? Why haven't I mastered it yet? And I said, well, because you think you should master it in moments. You think you should be a pro in moments. And I was like, oh, it's just so annoying. I watch all these other people and their sourdough comes out awesome. And here I am. Some days it does and some days it doesn't. And you know what I noticed? Every so often I will change something. I never quite stick to one thing in the sourdough. I'll change it somehow. And I was like, oh, 'cause I'm not consistent. Do you see what we do to ourselves? We say we want to change, and then we test something out for a little bit and we go, oh, this feels nice. And then we get lost in the feeling, oh my God, it feels nice. And we stop. And we stop. How come it doesn't feel nice anymore? Because you've stopped. Think about it. We must remain faithful to the changes that we want to make in our lives. We must. It is what builds your confidence. I'm amazed at how many people say, oh, the law doesn't work. I'm amazed. And I'm like, well, that's just because you don't have an understanding. You think it's something that's fly by night when it is every day, all day. Even though we had no sunshine yesterday and it's shaping up like we're not going to have any today either. You know, spring showers. Even though we didn't have any sunshine, it was still daytime. And when we got home and we went to bed, it was nighttime. Day and night. They don't change. They remain the same day and night. We want to learn consistency. We want to learn persistence. Watch nature, and she'll teach you how to be consistent, how to persist. Oh, she'll teach you. She's such a gentle and patient mother. She'll teach you. She'll teach you. You just gotta watch. But watching, observation, requires patience. Why do you think we're always rushing around? Because when we're so busy rushing, you know, you don't even taste your food when you're in such a hurry. Yes. When we rush through the experience, you miss the very essence of the thing. Right? You take your time. You will learn much about yourself when you take your time. That is where the realness is. Yeah, but man, I gotta get this done. Blah, blah, blah. Take your time. I tell it to you every day. When you're learning something new, you must be patient. Patience just means you're taking your time, really. It just means you're taking your time. When you take your time, you see, you watch, you observe. And it is in that observation where you will make your changes about yourself. Say, oh, I do that. Okay, I want to swap that one out and I'm going to do this one instead. And you take your time as you do it. And as you take your time with that new behavior, you begin to see the evidence of your changes. And because you can see the evidence of your changes, you are inspired to continue. Because you're taking your time. Boucher is in the house. I trust that this makes sense for you. See, lady's back to laying eggs. And this has been 2 days, not in a row, but it's 2 days. She skipped a day. But I know exactly where the egg will be. She doesn't change. She will go to that corner and she will lay that egg consistently. She does the same thing the same way every time. It was the tent, but she's not downstairs anymore. She's upstairs. So she goes and she lays it in the same corner over and over. And yesterday, I wasn't going to check because I said, well, look at the time. I really should go. You know, rush. But this overwhelming urge to go into that room, just to say bye. I'll see you when I get home. I go in and I look in the corner, and there it is. And I said, aw, lady, thank you. Thank you for your egg. That is so sweet. And she makes her little cooing noises. And, well, popcorn. Popcorn rode me like a pony yesterday. Listen, you take the time to really just be. Just take the time. And I'm learning that from popcorn. I went in to tidy up the space, because you got to clean up after them, right? So I'm on all fours and I'm looking at popcorn and popcorn is looking at me and I'm like, this squirrel. And I can see the mathematical calculations. And then popcorn is on my back. Yes, baby. I know. Mama's right here. I know. And popcorn rolled with me. Like when you're log rolling and you stand on top of the log that's moving, I was the log. It's just those simple little things. When they cause you to slow down and take everything in, you will discover a lot about yourself. You'll take time and you say, oh, but my child is so dot, dot, dot. But if you take time to observe the child's antics, you'll begin to see a completely different child altogether. And then sooner rather than later, you'll stop complaining about your child because you'll realize you only complained because you were in a rush. See? You take your time and you will gain self-confidence. as a result. But we want self-confidence and think we have to chase it and do all these techniques. No, select the mood, and the self-confidence naturally arises. And every day you do the same thing. You reinforce your confidence in yourself and your abilities every day, every single day. Next thing you know, by the end of the week, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was this confident. Ow. Right? So practice your patience. Just take your time. And you'll find that when you take your time in one area, you'll begin to take your time in all the other areas. Why is that? Because you will begin to notice that as you take your time, things taste more flavorful. You have more fun doing what you're doing. Oh, yes, indeed. You begin to see more of yourself. You begin to learn more about yourself. And then you learn about yourself. You will begin to ask beautiful questions. Well, who am I? Why am I here? And the answers will always come. Oh, they do. Oh, mommy's baby. Okay, mommy's done now, so I can snuggle with you a little bit longer before I go to work. Is that what you would like? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. He is just so sweet. He really is. And so I will leave you with that this morning. Go through this day and slow your roll. Just slow down. Everything will get done. Don't worry. Everything will get done. Don't worry about fretting. Oh no. No, no, no. Complete the task at hand and move on to the next one. But take your time. When you take your time, you realize how efficient you are becoming at your task. And you'll begin to realize that it's not the task that is a problem. It is the way you see the task. You know, when you say things like, oh my God, I can't stand my job. Change your perspective. People say, oh yeah, I don't want to work for them. You're not working for someone. It looks like you are. But what you're doing really and truly with your job is honing you. You're sharpening your wit. You're sharpening your memory. You are sharpening your skills for any task that you do. That's not for someone else, that's for you. So when you start doing that, well then, the job's not a problem, is it? Because you can bend and shape that job into what you want to become. So you see, just, oh, but Angela, you don't know the kind of people I work with. Remember, as within, so without. You have those arguments in your head, man, you're going to have a workplace full of arguments. So turn inward today as you go out into the world and take your time. And you will see yourself, you will come to know yourself and all these attributes that you're trying to chase: confidence, boldness, ease, peace. They show up as a result of what you say you are. It's the same thing for the anxiety and the worry. It shows up as a result of. You don't have to go out there and chase anxiety. Hell no. You don't got to chase depression either. You just got to get into the right frame of mind. And then all of a sudden, you're anxious. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so depressed. Yeah. See what I'm saying to you? You don't have to chase anything. Become it. Oh, oh, so cliche, Angela. How am I supposed to become it? Well, you practice it. And what you practice, you become. You want it to be harder than that? I keep telling you, only one thing in life is meant to be hard, but I digress. You know what I'm saying? So as we go through this beautiful Tuesday, whether you have sunshine or whether you've got rain, you take it all in. You take it all in. You allow the rain as it hits the window pane to soothe you. Oh, yes. You allow it to just wash over you. Indeed, you do. Because you better know that hot sun is coming. And when that hot sun is above you, let it warm the very cockles of your heart. Let it thaw the iciness that surrounds you, that we try to protect ourselves in. Oh, you didn't know? Mm. Anyway, I'm done. Who's here today? Boucher, you're the one who's made yourself known in that YouTube chat. So how you doing? Yoda Green, Al, I see you here in these Twitter streets. Fan base, who's kicking it with us? Hello, Michael. Ray Ray, Miss McQueen. Oh, my girl. Hey, kiddo. Al, I see you made it. Surreal. I see you. Listen, thank you all for being here this morning and spending time with me a little bit. He's fast asleep again. Thank you for spending your time with us. And I trust that you find it helpful. And I know in the beginning you might feel like, oh, she is crazy. She is weird. Don't worry about me and what you think I am. Apply the principle of cause and effect in your life. Deliberately do it. Well, how do you do it? Well, what do you want to experience? And then you put yourself in the mood because that experience has a particular mood. Of course it does. And you will bring about the cause. And if you're looking to do something, you say, oh, if I do this, what will happen? You see, what's the effect of me doing this? And if you don't like it, well, then you switch the cause. Why would you switch the cause? Because you want a different effect. So use it today as you go through the world. And you will be fortified. You will be sanctified. Hello. And you will glorify. Oh, oh, yes. The very act of living deliberately glorifies your Creator. Anyway, I am remiss to move because as soon as I move, he'll wake up. And he's so peaceful where he is right now. Like he's literally right next to me. Mm. Take this moment of silence then. Just for a few moments. And ask yourself gently, who do I want to become? I want to change some things in my life. You start with the one that's in your face the most. You start there. Obviously, you don't have to go digging and searching. And once you find it, say, you know what? I see what I presently am, but I would prefer to become dot 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 instead. And as you make that choice, you will automatically fall into a particular mood, frame of mind. And it does feel lovely, doesn't it? Well, then, what is that thing that you would be doing that would imply that you became it? Then do that in your mind's eye. Just rehearse it. Have it be your inner conversation. And have fun doing it. Why? Because as you are doing it, you are literally watching yourself become. Now, if that does not turn you on to watch yourself become what you say you want to be, then I don't know what will. Take your time. Mm. Miss Marjorie, hello, darling. Boucher wants to know when will I start doing the Neville lectures at night again. Mm. I'm not 100% sure, Boucher, because I work in the evenings, yes? So because I work in the evenings, I can only serve one master at a time. So until such time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, you looking at me. Oh, oh, oh. And here's how we will end our morning. 5, 4, 3. Take your time. Take your time. 2. What a good boy. Thank you for that little bit. Thank you. Thanks. He's just always so giving. He's just getting started, though. Anyhow, I love you all, and I'll see you on the morrow. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is what he's saying. Much love to each and every one of you. Much love.